Alright, hey everyone, how's it going? Today, I'm going to start a monthly series. Oh my goodness. I hate this. I need a good camera, man. So, a new monthly series where I can talk about all the cool stuff I played and watched in the last month. In case you don't know, it's a new thing I've been doing ever since the beginning of last year, is tracking everything I do media-wise in terms of television, film, video games, and books, but I haven't been reading any books. Every time I do it, every time I watch an episode, play a game, whatever. So I don't miss a thing. It's very thorough. I'm not going to be talking about every single thing. It's not like my 2017 in review in the same way where I'm going to be breaking down everything. No, I'm just going to kind of be talking about the highlights, what I think is particularly noteworthy from the month. Alright. Yeah. So in terms of TV shows, it's more or less the same things I've been working on for a while. A lot of the shows that Blind Wave, shout out again, I've been watching because of them. I'm way behind on a lot of the reactions now. I just have a list of all the reactions I need to watch for these shows. So I'm going through the list. I'll watch an episode and then watch the reaction. So generally with these shows, I'm not binging a bunch of them all at once. It's like one at a time, alternating through the list, basically. And those shows are Dragon Ball Super, My Hero Academia, Young Justice, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Doctor Who, and The Legend of Korra. That is all of them at the moment, I believe. I will be getting into Torchwood when that comes up on my list, basically. Out of those, I'm enjoying them all for the most part. Legend of Korra, it's in the middle of season 2. It's not a particularly huge fan of this season of Korra. There were a couple of standout episodes, but other than that, I'm not really like a huge fan of this arc they seem to be going through. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, I'm also at a point where I'm like not totally invested in what's happening, but it'll be cool to see how it develops, because I know people just revere it as such a great anime, and I'm like, it's not quite there for me. And I'm about halfway through the series, through episode 33. There were a couple episodes where I'm like, wow, this is brilliant, but to be honest, so far I don't see what people find so amazing about the show. I know there are a couple episodes in particular that people note. I've heard like some episode numbers thrown around of which ones people really like, fans. Young Justice is pretty great. Had some pretty good developments throughout that. Dragon Ball Super is getting to a really good part. Actually, I watched a good bunch of episodes this month, but still not as much as I'd like, because it's actually into the tournament part. I'm not going to throw any spoilers out there, but there's a tournament arc, I guess, and that's where I'm at right now. Really interested to see where that goes. My Hero Academia, watched a few episodes of that this month. I'm up to about, I'm where Blind Wave is, I'm caught up on that. So I forget what episode that number that was, like 12 or so. But man, I'm actually really enjoying that. In the beginning of the series, it was like, it's not incredible. Like, I'm not really that into it. Like the whole main character was really whiny, and that was kind of annoying. But the series quickly became one of my favorites I'm watching right now. It's just a lot of fun. Every episode I look forward to watching. And outside of the Blind Wave shows, there are just a couple others. Vikings. I've only watched like 2 episodes this month. I'm actually behind by 2 in live TV. They just had like the mid-season finale, I believe, season 5. So I've watched up to episode 8. So I just have 2 episodes to catch up with on that. That's still been pretty great. It's hard to say anything without going into spoilers, but it's season 5 of a show, so probably just leave it at that. I've also been watching The Amazing Race with my family. There have been 6 episodes of that this month. That's been fun as well. That's one of the golden trifecta of reality shows, the CBS television. Big Brother, Survivor, and Amazing Race. Can't go wrong with any of those. The Amazing Race has never been like the top in terms of strategic gameplay, but it has been interesting seeing people adapt in such an interesting way, because the whole idea of having a race in just real life, like you're not stuck in this area doing things It's like you're just going out through the world, different countries, and doing these different tasks that people just do normally often. It's really interesting to see that because it's really unique. And the last two are the definitely golden two of this month for me. Black Mirror, I've watched 4 episodes with. Been watching that with my brother now. It's another series that kind of like, I started watching it by myself and then I became watching it with someone else. So that has been excellent. I mean, it's just some of the best television I've ever seen, honestly. That's one of the series I definitely want to show and eventually do a reaction series for. Until then, I've just got my thoughts. I mean, it's just, every episode is incredibly unique. You never know what you're going to get when you go into it. But each episode is so well written. They get some great actors in there. A lot of different diversity, both in terms of the people and in terms of where it's taking place and like what's happening. So that's what's so cool. You do, like, the only downside to Black Mirror is that you generally know there's some sort of depressing ending, because that's just the theme of Black Mirror. Though there was one episode that was like, oh wow, that's actually kind of happy ending, but still had some depressing parts to it. But yeah, I'm up to episode 5 of season 3 of Black Mirror, which means there's one more episode of season 3 and then 6 episodes of season 4, which is the most recent season that everyone's been talking about. I've had to plug my ears so not to be spoiled, but I've heard nothing but good things. Of course, is Black Mirror. Yeah, I would love to introduce more people to that and be able to have like detailed discussions about that. There's some great potential for discussion there. And of course, Lost, which is like my number one love right now. It's been going on for like the past several months at this point. But man, we powered through so many episodes. I've been watching with my brother and my mother. So 54 episodes is the total for this month. In January alone, we've watched 54 episodes of Lost, which brings us up to season 4, episode like 11, 12, somewhere in that range. Oh wait, no, I completely forgot. We finished season 4, so we're on like season 5, episode 1 or 2 now. Yeah, I completely forgot that. We're making some really good progress on that, so wouldn't be surprised if we finished that in another month or 2. I'm hoping to be able to do like some sort of discussion video on that, so that would be cool. And yeah, in terms of television, that's it. In terms of gaming, I haven't done near as much as I would have liked. Early on in the month, I did play a lot of Tetris. My high score is something like 167,000 or something like that. I was having trouble passing that. I'd like to kind of revisit that every now and then and try to pass it. But that's my high score at this point for sure. Tetris, you can never go wrong with that. It's just a lot of fun. What inspired me to actually play that was because it was the high score challenge that we have going on in my Discord, which is in the description below. I believe it's in there now. Oh Jesus, it might not be. So go to zacharcher.net. It's in there as well. There's a link to it if you like video games, movies, television, anything like that, or just want to chat. There's just funny people there. It's cool. It's awesome. A lot of fun. I haven't been very active in there actually, so it's like kind of noticing a correlation. Not as much gaming talk. Alright. But the couple games I did play were Human Fall Flat, which was, I believe, by the same people that make Gang Beasts. I was actually, for some reason, I thought Gang Beasts had become Human Fall Flat. I thought that was kind of like what it turned into at some point. But no, they're two completely different games. So we got that. It's like very puzzle oriented. I was playing that with my brother co-op. That's actually really interesting. Really interesting control scheme too. Gang Beasts, I also then ended up getting that, and we played a bit of that as well, which was, it is really fun and it's kind of wacky. I imagine it's so much more fun with like 4 people though. Like the more people the merrier. I imagine that game, just a lot of madness going on in there. Hoping to get some more gaming in the next month. So I actually did buy Stardew Valley along with Gang Beasts, so hoping to get some time into that. I've heard it to be right up my alley. I've gotten it recommended several times. So lastly, in terms of movies, again, my brother and I are doing this thing where we're working through watching all the Star Wars movies and then a couple Disney movies that I want to watch. And then after that, we're going to do a cool movie lottery thing that I might talk about in the future. I don't know. I don't know if I've seen the original trilogy or not. I know I grew up with around when the prequels came out, but the whole point is I wanted to watch them because I feel like I don't remember them enough. I've heard so much Star Wars discussion and everything, so you obviously have a sense of the plot anyway, but I wanted to go back and at least refresh my memory. I can't even remember if I ever watched them originally, but we watched episode 4 like last year or even the year before that, and now episode 5 and episode 6 we watched this month. See, I don't get all the apparently episode 6 is like kind of commonly the least favorite of the original trilogy, but I actually really liked episode 6, probably my favorite. Also watched Beauty and the Beast, which had one of the best trailers, honestly, that I've ever seen. I actually did a video on that a while ago when the trailer came out. But honestly, the movie was just okay for me. It like really wasn't all that special, honestly. Not as near as special as the trailer made it feel. But that's okay. It was still, I mean, it was Beauty and the Beast live action. I just feel like it probably wasn't necessary. It was nice seeing Emma Watson in that kind of role. It was interesting, but kind of unnecessary. Which is kind of the case with a lot of remakes, I guess. Jungle Book was amazing, though. Wow. And also, just to throw in something about music, I haven't been tracking my music because that's like impossible to track. Every time you listen to something, it's just kind of all over the place. But it's been very clear. I've listened to a lot of Bruno Mars this month. His album is just amazing, and like if you've listened to the album, you know why he definitely deserves all those Grammys he won. 6 Grammys, that's crazy. But man, that was such a good album. And I also love Alicia Cara as well. I've only heard a few of her songs, but I really grown to love her as well. I'd like to actually check out her album sometime. So if you have any recommendations on that, that'd be cool. Alright, that's going to be it for January 2018. I'll see you next month, and we'll talk about what the next month is. I have no idea what next month will be. I think it's probably going to be February, though.